Hey, Dustin Demarion here to recap my 2014 Rayovac Northern Series at Lake Champlain. It was another great tournament for me. Unfortunately, I fell just a little bit short, just like the Potomac. At least the Potomac, I was on the hot seat till the very last guy, and I had to go through the gauntlet of really good fishermen. But at this one, I took the hot seat for one guy, and the guy that was behind me coincidentally won the tournament, so I was only on it for one person. Um, had a great practice. Really felt comfortable. I've only fished there one day in my life before. It was a few years ago, and I liked the lake. Didn't really get a good take on it that time, but I was looking forward to getting back there. I mean, I think it really suits me. I like places where you can mix smallmouth and largemouth and that kind of stuff, and I love places where you can fish weeds and stuff for largemouth. So I started the practice period down at Ticonderoga with a couple of my buddies. Um, I really, really caught them good down there. And my buddies had been catching them really good in practice too, so they were really excited about what was going to happen. And they made the run down the first day. Well, my one buddy made it down every day, but the other guy did an audible north the second day. Um, the bite was really good. I mean, it wasn't exactly perfect. It never is, but it got slightly more difficult as time progressed. The day I got there was the last day we all practiced down at Thai, and I caught some really good fish. I mean, in the 18 to 19 pound range behind my buddy, and he definitely caught 17 or plus, fishing too. I just got like every bite I got was like a close to 4 pounder, which was awesome. And they were all just chunky fish. The fish down there are about as wide as they are long, which is awesome. I mean, that's crazy. Those fish too, they'd rip the rod out of your hands while your bait's falling too. That's kind of cool. So we went back up north, practiced a little bit, caught some smallmouth, figured a little bit of stuff out, which was actually really helpful because the first day I drew a guy from Michigan and we stayed up north fishing for smallmouth really, and caught our limits pretty quick. Wasn't too difficult, but the problem with the smallmouths were they were very skinny at this time of year. It was a post-spawn transition kind of deal, and the largemouths just weighed more at this time for the most part. But I was lucky enough. I saw a little something I think my boater overlooked, and cast to it. Caught a 3 pounder. Had about 5 or 6 that size or better swimming with it. So I knew they were holding on that specifically. And I just kept casting to it. Caught another 3 pounder off of it, largemouth. Um, Kept casting to it. Cast right next to it. There was another little irregularity, and caught a 4 pounder, my biggest one I think I weighed that day, and ended up losing one about 4.5 pounds later in the day on a frog, not on that spot, a little further up north, which kind of hurt me. I had it on a frog, and it got me wrapped in some reeds after fighting it for a little bit, and it popped off. Coincidentally, my boater went in there 30 minutes or an hour after that and flipped in and caught it. The reason we know that is because it had 2 frog hook marks and it was bleeding from my from my frog hooks. I started off with 15 pounds, which is I was really happy with that because I was telling my buddies I was pretty disappointed I was going up north because I knew it was happening down at Thai, and when you can catch 18 pounds down there, it's hard to contend up north. 18 to 20 pounds, it's hard to contend up north. But I said, if I catch 15 pounds, I'll stick in this thing. And I pretty much caught 15 pounds and did exactly what I thought I needed to do. I think I started in about 15th place, somewhere in the top 15, maybe 14, which I knew kept me in it. And that's kind of how my tournament started at Potomac. I just got better each day, um, just being consistent in that. The second day, I was lucky enough. We went down to Ticonderoga. I drew a guy from Virginia. We started off back in a little creek. Caught a 4 pounder on a frog, which was awesome. That was the first fish I caught. It looked even a little bit bigger. We both kind of estimated about 5. It was just real skinny. Its mouth was huge. It just didn't have the girth. Caught another couple back there. Had 3 by the time we left there. Started hitting some weed patches. Caught one more, and then it was kind of spotty here and there. And I was like, oh man, I know there's fish around here because we fish a lot of the same areas. So I picked up a drop shot, started casting that out. First cast, I caught about 2.5, 2 3/4, and just proceeded to catch fish after fish after fish on a drop shot for the rest of the day. The only thing was most of them weren't that big, and that's really the issue with a drop shot. Sometimes you're gonna catch smaller fish, but I was lucky enough I did catch some big ones throughout the tournament on the drop shot. Um, but going back up north, we had one spot right near the ramp. It was a smallmouth spot, and I was lucky enough to make a really nice call there right before we headed in. With about 10 minutes to go, I caught like a 3.5, 4 pound smallmouth on a drop shot, which was huge. That gave me about 15 pounds again and had me in fifth place going into the last day. Last day, I drew a guy who was pretty local. I think he's from the Albany area, and he had had really good success at Champlain in the past, and caught 18 or 19 pounds each day, which was really solid. So I was feeling comfortable that we were going to go down, at least be around some fish. Um, we started off the day fishing a little shad spawn kind of deal, some riprap, that kind of stuff, chatterbaits. He caught one good one right off the bat. I caught a decent one, 2.5 pounder. And we went back through a few more times. We each caught one or two, and it was just really tough. Picked up a drop shot. First cast, caught a 4.5 or 4 pounder, my biggest fish of the day. Then caught another one, probably 2.5 or so. Didn't take too long for either of us to get our limits, probably an hour or two. We jumped around. We only fished that spot for about an hour, and then we hit a few more things, and we kind of called throughout the day here and there. Nothing big though. I mean, we'd get probably like half ounce, or I mean not half ounce, quarter pound or half pound calls throughout the day. It just wasn't. We weren't getting those big bites. We caught some 3 pounders throughout the day, 3.5, occasion like one or two 3.5 pluses, but nothing giant. And I gave it all I had. Caught another 14.5, 15 pounds or something like that, and ended up in fourth place. Second biggest bag of the day. So I mean, I can't be too disappointed. I gave it everything I had and left it all out there. It was another great tournament. It was lucky enough to put me in first place going into the James River tournament in Co-Angler of the Year. So I'm looking forward to the James River, and let's get this thing done. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.